Helix Labs. Before we start, I would like to thank all the support you guys are giving us. We appreciate everything that you guys do. Now to the video. Hi fellow scientists, today we will be talking about benzene and organic chemistry. So let's start off with what is benzene. Benzene is a colorless liquid with a melting point of 80 degrees Celsius or 176 degrees Fahrenheit. Benzene is an organic chemical compound with the chemical formula hexacarbon hexahydride. It is found naturally in crude oil and it smells a lot like petrol. The benzene molecule is composed of 6 carbon atoms joined in a ring with 1 hydrogen atom attached to each. Benzene is classified as a hydrocarbon because it is only composed of carbon and hydrogen. It has 6 carbon atoms on the inside ring and branching off it has 6 hydrogen atoms. Each carbon atom has a free electron, so the electrons are free to move in the middle of the ring. This means that the electrons are conjugated. This gives it the property of aromaticity. Contrary to what you may believe aromaticity is, in this context does not mean nice smelling, even though it does normally mean this scientifically. It means that electrons are conjugated and the molecule is ring-shaped. There are a lot of ways in showing benzene's aromaticity, like, a too high dosage of benzene could lead to cancer as it is cancerous. Benzene is also very useful as fuel but as it is a hydrocarbon, accounts for global warming when combusted. Now that we understand the basics of benzene and its components, we can talk about the positive and negative effects benzene has on our environment. We can all agree that benzene, as all hydrocarbons are, is bad for the environment. When radiation comes from the sun, at first most of the ultraviolet radiation is absorbed by the ozone layer, but some doesn't get through. As you know, greenhouse gases such as hydrocarbons trap the radiation in, but it does not trap it yet because the radiation does not match the vibrational mode of the greenhouse gases, but when it does, it gets absorbed and re-emitted, and this keeps happening until all the radiation is absorbed by the Earth, so more of the radiation is absorbed and less is reflected back into space. This is because when it combusts it releases a large amount of carbon into our atmosphere, and because carbon is perfectly tuned to the vibrational mode of the greenhouse gases, as said before, it absorbs the slightly different wavelengthed infrared radiation that the Earth emits, and it reflects it back in a random direction, keeping the Earth warmer for a longer period of time. By the way, that was a short definition of why global warming happens. Another negative fact is that to get benzene we need crude oil. That is where most of benzene is found, so that is the example we will be using, and to get crude oil in an efficient and low expensive way we would need to use fracking, which is not at all good for biological beings and the environment. When fracking happens we pump liters and liters of high-pressure fracking fluid, which is mostly water, and when we do that increases the chances of earthquakes. And a final negative fact about benzene is if life, mostly humans but it can happen in other species, comes in contact with benzene for too long. When this happens, the being that has come to zero close will feel symptoms such as drowsiness, dizziness, irregular heartbeat, headaches, tumors, confusion, and even death. Now that we have gone through the dark secrets of benzene, let's start thinking about the positive effects it has had on humanity. As we know, plastic has been a huge part of humanity from the middle parts of the 20th century up until now. Benzene is used to make plastic, resins, synthetic fibers, rubber lubricants, dyes, detergents, drugs and pesticides. Benzene is also found naturally close to volcanoes, but that benzene is very hard to acquire, so we must use fracking or a better, more environmental system. It is also used in antibiotics, which is the most useful side of benzene. We have now talked about benzene and its key points, advantages and disadvantages, which will be bringing this video to a close. This video was done by me and my friend. He owns this channel as much as I do. Go subscribe to the channel 42, the link is in the description. He does simulations and plays games. Go check him out. Our next video will be about chemistry again, and it is about, drum roll please, uranite. We will be talking about how we extract it, what it is and what we use it for, and a few other fun facts. By the way, on our first video the galaxies aren't moving away from each other but the space between them is expanding. Sorry, my friend pointed out that mistake. Thank you for watching our video. Our next video will be out in 2 to 10 days. We usually would do animations, but with your support we can make that happen more often. If you like the video, click the thumbs up button, and if you want more videos like this, subscribe to Helix Labs. Getting the correct facts out to you is incredibly important to us. Stay in touch with the channel. Helix Labs.